Whoa, 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 whoa. Illuminators, what's happening? Juggernaut's powerful and unstoppable. Observers, participators, benevolent determinators, leveraging authoritative, authentic technology above the sun using imagination, desire, intentionality, stay in power, big love, to transform, transfigure yourself, your family, everything you think about. Benevolent outcomes. Love it. Boston C here. Boston C. Hope you guys are doing well. Go check us out, abovethesun.io, abovethesun.io. Follow us on X, formerly Twitter. Handle is at Above the Sun Life, at Above the Sun Life. Boston C. Put stuff up there, some snarky stuff sometimes, just calling out stuff below the sun, releasing frequency on it, not worrying about the outcome. I know big love's hot. Benevolent determinators are here below the sun doing stuff. And, but yeah, malevolent, corrupt, deceptors are walking around with wet pants. Just observe, be patient. Stay until the end. Otherwise, what do you say we get into some good stuff? Let's keep going in, Dr. Sharnael. Science of Miracles. Last time we left off is Dr. Sharnael was going to give a couple of embarrassing examples as she awoke to the revelation that she was absolutely appalled by all of the random judgments that I had made while on autopilot. So we were talking about judgment, and at the end I said that big love has 4 faces: justice, judgment, grace, and mercy. You need to learn how to function in all 4 of those faces, right? So it's not that you don't judge; it's how you judge. You judge from the perspective of big love, and you can judge because you've already judged yourself. And we've already been judged about that, just the willingness that we're willing to self-observe and self-reflect. Yeah, it's amazing, right? Anyhow, the more and more in tune I became, the more I realized how subtle judgment can be. And so she gave a couple of embarrassing examples, which we're going to read. My husband and I were driving to a city that we had never been to before. I do not like being late because my word is my bond. Anyone who knows me knows that. If for whatever reason I am running late, then I will contact the person immediately and let them know what's going on and the correct time that I'll be there. Normally I leave way early, so I'll get to my destination early. I'd rather be there early than late just because my word is my word, and I like to keep my energy straight. I like that. Well, in this particular situation, we did not leave early, and we were in a city that we've never been in. We were very unfamiliar with it, and the GPS in our car was taking us all the wrong ways. This was making us even more late, which was stressing me out. I contacted the people and let them know we were going to be late, which really bugged me. And as the GPS was saying, turn on so-and-so street, we noticed over and over that there weren't a whole lot of street signs anywhere to even look at to gauge where we were or where we were going. I remember making a comment to Brian. I said, you would think the city would have actual signs so we would know where to go. As soon as I said it, I realized what I did, and she canceled Claire. Boston C took that, and I like to control alt delete because I do that a lot. I mean, basically what I was saying is if I was in charge, I would do it better. All ego, super uncool. This, of course, is coming from a person who exemplifies the very definition of one who has never been in any position of governing a city and still thinking that I knew how to do it better. Maybe there was a storm a week before and all the signs came down. Who knows? Maybe it was not in their budget to get a second group of signs after the storm. I personally don't know why. I am obviously making all these scenarios up. The point is, I am just saying that I have never governed the city, so who am I to think I could do it better? And yet, here I spouted out some very judgmental, not so cool statement that I had to cancel clear. That's the good news. When you know better, you do better, right? Just turn around, go the other way. I'll give you one more example to really bring it home. During the presidential campaign, there was a certain candidate that was supposed to be giving their support to another presidential candidate that was selected for the nomination. When it came time for this person who was nominated to accept their nomination, there were all kinds of folks out there who were supposed to be contributing with their support. One in particular did not. A lot of people were upset. As a matter of fact, it was all over Facebook the next day. People were expressing their disappointment for this person's lack of follow through on this commitment. I almost posted something myself, but it was after I had gotten the whole -1 plus 300x mind, heart, words equation, so I did not end up posting. Good choice. I noticed a friend of mine had posted regarding his disappointment. I almost commented about 3 or 4 different times and then wisely erased it with surety. Then finally, I just did something that was really very simple. I merely hit like, meaning I agreed with this person's disappointment with the guy who did not support the candidate who was chosen, even though at one time he agreed to do that. Simultaneously, I didn't really think of it for a little bit, but I received a message that some lady was mad at me for charging for a conference that we were hosting. The conference that we were organizing was going to cost $35,000. We were only charging $45 a person. The $35,000 covered rent for the building, payment for guest speakers, transportation costs for speakers, lodging for the speakers, and food costs. There are a lot of expenses that are involved when you're hosting a big conference like that. We had been doing it for 20 years. The $45 per person is just to help, pay for some of it, and usually does not even cover it most of the time. It is just an investment for those participating to come help support the cost a bit. Anyway, someone was upset about this conference charge and had posted it all over Facebook. It happened to be a spiritual conference, and this person happened to be religious. In parentheses, no judgment. And she was saying all these things like, well, the last time I looked, the Bible was free and ministries should be free, so Dr. Sharnael shouldn't be charging for the conference, all over my personal Facebook page and hers. Immediately, I was thinking, what in the world is this lady doing? She has no idea what it takes to do a $35,000 conference. At the time, I had been doing conferences this size and bigger for 17 years. Honestly, in reality, she had probably never even hosted a backyard barbecue for 4, let alone a $35,000 budget conference. In parentheses, no judgment. I love that. Gotta have a sense of humor. Go get him, Doc. This lady just did not know. She had no experience in this. I was so upset. I commented to explain that someone had to pay for all the expenses, and that's just how conferences work. When I walked out of my office, I happened to walk through the living room when I noticed the politician I had just judged on Facebook with my like, who was on the news explaining there were a lot of reasons why he did what he did, and then commented about how he had been doing this for 17 years. It just stopped me in my tracks. Sound familiar? I instantly saw the connection. The sowing and reaping was almost immediate. Even the same platform was used for judgment, in this case, Facebook. I had judged someone who had 17 years experience in something that I didn't have any understanding about. And someone now judged me on my own 17 years. I think that's that karma, right? That boomerang thing. I had merely judged just with a simple like on Facebook, and within minutes, I am being judged myself publicly. What the heck? Yeah, this stuff is really serious. Laws are laws. It's just not scriptures. It's universal law. True statement, true story. Drop a pin from a level position, it falls to the ground because of gravity. This is also universal law. Just like the law, when we judge, we get judged. Let's keep our energy clear and only sow love. Judge out of love, right? Back, judge yourself. And if you judge, sometimes you can judge and keep your mouth shut, right? So, conversation for another day. It's all good. Let's keep our energy clear and only sow love. Let's be way more aware and attentive so what our thoughts are, to what our heart feels, to what our mouth is saying, and even to the work we do by the click of our mouse. With the social media aspect, this is especially dangerous. Find it in my experience, people are more prone to say things on social media that they wouldn't normally say to someone's face because the human aspect is perceived as removed. It's all too easy now to armchair quarterback a situation from your comfortable couch with a laptop to top it off, actually thinking there are no ramifications. Let me tell you, there still are. You may not be connecting them, but it is a law. That's right, there's a higher law. Think quantumly. As I spoke in the previous chapters on collective consciousness, when we judge in public while getting others to join us, it is massive judge energy out and judge energy karma back. Yikes. If we put something out there with a low frequency for others to join us in that campaign or transaction, well, now the equation has amplified and joined force, good or bad, right? The intentionality behind it works for both malevolent intentionality, benevolent intentionality. So imagine good things, imagine things changing, thinking in love, things you're bothered about. Go in and do things in love, in your mind, in your imagination. It does stuff. I'm telling you, it works. Remember, to the measure we judge, it comes back to us. So judge public, get a public judge back. This doesn't even take into account that some judgments may actually be based on incorrect info. Maybe we are misinformed or we don't have enough information. So half-truths are dealt out and they spread. It takes so much more to undo. All of that has been spread, even when truth is eventually presented. This illustrates the fake news situation. A whole other topic. Let's read one more little, finish this page, and then I'll let you go. Whatever you give ear to. So, what do we do when someone gives us a call to tell us something, regardless of whether it is judgmental, true, false, or worse, twisted truth? Mark 24 says, take heed what you hear. The same measure you use it, it will be measured unto you, and to you who hear, more will be given. In other words, be careful what you give your ear to, because if you listen to gossip or judgment, then energetically you are still in the equation and you're still in the transaction. It will be measured unto you and more will be given, good or bad. Anyone who knows me knows if they send me anything in text, social media, any kind of judgments or whatever, my response is something similar to this. I love you. Please never send me anything like this again. And then I usually send them my video on YouTube explaining the power of collective consciousness and judgment. If they call me with negative information about someone, my response is usually something like this. I love you. I am sad you're sad. How about we get on a three-way call and talk to the person directly and get this worked out together? I'd rather you talk to them than to me. Keeps my energy clear. Well, let's leave it there. We'll finish the chapter next day or so. Science of miracles. It's amazing. We create our own reality. Wake up thinking about it, going to bed thinking about it, getting at your day. Do hard things. Do your thing. Do good things. Do it for a long time. Write your story. That Stanford grad was spot on, whoever he was. Love that. Do hard things. Love is not easy sometimes. You can love people and not like them. You can love people and don't have to hang around with them, right? Grow in your empathy, humanity. We're all in this together. The malevolence, the corruption, the deception, it's all going. We're staying. Love wins, big love wins. So the big idea, love big love, practice loving big. Start with you, family, friends, and wherever your journey takes you. I'm gonna let you go. Stay in the way, stay in the path. Until next time, Boston Sea, up and away.